Seoul in the springtime is bustling. But beneath the friendly facade is a side to this country that foreigners know nothing about.
I struggled as much as I could.
You were drugged, abducted, raped and robbed.
Yes.
Violated first by sickening attacks.
I was much less terrified hanging naked from a fence than being inside that house.
Then let down by the system that is meant to protect.
We are treated like criminals.
This is a shame for the country. This is not a safe country for women.
And the foreign men who are taking advantage of these weak laws.
If you didn't rape her, why did you offer her $50,000?
Ma'am, I'm not answering any more questions. You guys need to go away.
25-year-old Airdrie Matner is a survivor, and hers is a cautionary tale. The Adelaide primary school teacher was living her dream of teaching English in Japan when she decided to holiday in nearby South Korea. It would be the biggest mistake of her life.
How are you holding up?
Not well. It just feels like I'm stuck in a never-ending nightmare.
September 25th last year is a date etched in Airdrie's mind for all the wrong reasons. Alone in Seoul and keen to meet new people, she signed up for a pub crawl.
Did you let someone buy you a drink that night?
No, I'm really careful. Every drink that I drank that night was bought by myself. I remember just, trying to chat to some new people, mostly women, expats that were living here. I was having a great time with these new people, and that's one of the last things that I remember.
Somehow, Airdrie's third drink of the night was spiked. From that point on, things get hazy.
It was not a slow process. It was not a realization that something felt strange. It was a blackout and being aware that I was in the back of a taxi being taken somewhere and being violently ill.
Slipping in and out of consciousness, Airdrie realised she was with a man she'd never met and had no idea where he was taking her. She pleaded with the taxi driver to save her.
Picked up my phone and I showed it to the taxi driver and I just kept saying, please take me here, please take me back to my hostel.
I can't imagine how scared you must have been in that moment.
Yeah, I was terrified, and I didn't know what else I could do other than just beg with the man to take me back to the hostel.
And he didn't?
No.
Instead, the man brought her here, a place locals call Hooker's Hill, in the seedy back streets of Seoul.
Why do you want to come back here?
I guess, to confirm what I remember. There are so many pieces, memories, I guess confirming for myself my memories of where this happened.
Then here? This is the hotel.
Yeah.
The view. You know what, I wasn't expecting this. And you have no memory of being brought here?
No, I don't. Nothing between the taxi and being in the room.
What's now apparent from the hotel's security footage is that at least 3 men were involved. The one with Airdrie in the taxi and 2 others.
It shows the 2 men coming up to rent the room. I'm not with them. It shows them leaving again. It shows them returning with me and one of them taking me into the room. Him leaving about an hour or so after, and then the next man going in. and then him leaving.
Do you remember anything that happened inside that hotel room?
Yes. I was completely naked on my back on the bed, and the man was on top of me, trying to force himself inside me.
You have a clear memory of that?
Yes. And I struggled as much as I could. I tried to push him off, and just wasn't strong enough.
Airdrie woke up alone, naked, with her money gone.
You're really confronting all of this right now, aren't you?
Yeah.
By being here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Deep breath. Do you want to get out of here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Okay.
Little did Airdrie realise, but her ordeal was just beginning. She would suffer again, but this time at the hands of police. Like many other rape victims in South Korea, she felt officers blamed her for what happened. Why did you drink alcohol, they asked. What were you wearing? And why were you out alone? For Airdrie, it was like being violated all over again. And it would soon get worse when, despite strong leads and DNA evidence, police decided to close the case.
Just dumbfounded. Shocked and dumbfounded. I just didn't understand it. You know, I felt that they had abandoned me.
Is rape an easy crime to get away with here?
Definitely.
And why is that?
I think the authority, the police or the court, they don't think it's a serious issue.
Dr. Won-Yun Lee treats sexual assault victims in South Korea. She says a blind eye is often turned to such crimes because of her country's subservient view of women. Rarely are men jailed for rape, and the number of sex crimes against foreigners has tripled in recent years. Is there a culture of sexual aggression and violence towards women here?
Lots and lots. I would say it's almost a social norm.
See, I don't think that is the image most people have of Korea, that it's not safe for women.
I don't think many foreigners who are traveling here will notice that they might be exposed to the risks of rape, and not just rape, gang rape, drug rape.
The decision by police to close Airdrie's case left her shattered.
To finally meet you.
But she's not alone.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm getting there. Getting there.
Today, she's meeting Amanda Wilson. The 35-year-old American is a teacher in South Korea.
The Korean prosecutor let me down. Severely let me down.
She was allegedly assaulted in April last year and, like Airdrie, was dismissed by authorities. Has your alleged rapist been brought to justice?
Not at all. He has not spent one day in jail.
And that's because...
I think there's no doubt that they just wanted this to go away.
Unlike Airdrie, Amanda does remember meeting the person she says attacked her. She'd been playing pool at her local bar with US military contractor James Hillier when he invited her home to a house party. Who was there when you got back to his place?
No one. No one. And he looked at me and just said, you won't leave. You won't be leaving.
Amanda says what followed was a violent struggle.
He was on top of me, so I was reaching up with all of my body to bite his face, and I got him, and he reeled back off of me and said, "You f***ing bitch. You f***ing bit my face, you f***ing bitch." And I got up and just ran.
Wearing nothing but her bra, Amanda tried to jump Hillier's front fence. She failed impaling her wrist.
Put my foot up here, jumped over, and when I came down, it came down like that. So I was hung like this, just enough that I could touch, and waving like this continuously with all of these cars coming, which they are right now.
And no one stopped?
Nobody stopped. So many people drove by and nobody stopped.
Were you screaming?
Yeah, screaming bloody murder because my hand was literally impaled right there.
An hour passed before someone stopped to help.
I've just seen that scar on your hand. Look at that. You've got this reminder.
Every day I have a reminder.
This is 50-year-old James Hillier today. He lives with his elderly mother in Waterford, California. In the weeks after the assault, he wrote this letter to Amanda, offering her $50,000 and pleading with her to drop the case, saying neither one of us deserves to have our lives ruined by this. She refused the money, but to her disgust, Korean prosecutors decided not to pursue him. Is there a view here that foreign women who go out dancing and drinking bring it on themselves?
There is a word calling these types of women, which is like a white horse. This is a very, very bad word, calling them as a sexual object. If the women agree to drink, it's agreeing to sex.
He was allowed to go back to America and forget this had ever happened.
Yeah, he had no repercussions whatsoever.
And what message does it send when a case like yours, with some pretty strong evidence, is dropped?
It scares the hell out of me because I worry that somebody else is going to hear about my story and choose because mine didn't get prosecuted. I worry that if somebody hears about my story and sees that mine didn't get prosecuted, that theirs might not be prosecuted. So what's the use that they should bring it up? And that scares me.
That's why you're doing this.
That's why I'm hoping that something will change.
Coming up, confronting the man who ran away.
He has not spent one day in jail.
Allison Langdon from 60 Minutes Australia.
Paying the price for speaking out.
I believe they did it to scare me off.
Did it work?
No.
And stronger together, the brave women fighting for change.
I feel scared, I feel sick, but I guess I'm doing it anyway.
That's next on 60 Minutes. For the first time since her attack last September, Airdrie Matner from Adelaide has returned to South Korea, where she was drugged, abducted, raped and robbed.
How are you tonight being back here for the first time?
Uneasy. Very, very uneasy. Yeah, the lights, the people, I guess all it does is bring back bad memories.
When police closed Airdrie's file despite a mountain of evidence, she decided to fund her own investigation. The international outcry forced officers to reopen the case. And within weeks, they made an arrest. A Nigerian man whose DNA was a match. But this 25-year-old's brave stance earned her many enemies, including, it seems, the Korean police.
Most of the hate mail, unfortunately, came after the police decided to make a public Facebook post with details about my case.
So the police posted information about your case, private details about your case on their public Facebook page.
That's right.
Why would they do that?
I believe they did it to save face, to humiliate me in the eyes of the Korean public, to discredit me, and to scare me off, to try to get rid of me.
Did it work?
No. No, it didn't.
Instead, scores of victims contacted Airdrie to share their stories and offer support.
And that's when I really understood how big the problem is here. It's an epidemic.
One of those women was fellow Australian Catherine Fisher, who was raped in neighbouring Japan in 2002.
Sadly, we are guilty until we can prove ourselves innocent, which just really doesn't make sense. That's not the way it should be.
Catherine's treatment at the hands of Japanese police left her more traumatised than the rape itself. Before detectives let her see a doctor or even wash, they took her back to the scene and made her reenact the assault. Something she says still happens today.
They still have to do the reenactment photographs, where the rape victim has to get into the same positions where he or she is raped. I still have nightmares about that. That's not something that you can wipe from your memory.
Catherine's alleged rapist, Bloke Deans, was a US Navy sailor who was allowed to leave Japan and never face charges. She's been doggedly fighting for victims' rights ever since. But 14 years on, she says nothing has changed.
Japan and South Korea, they're not backward countries.
No. But when it comes to women and rape crimes, it is.
I mean, huge numbers of Australians visit here every single year.
They need to be made aware that if they become a rape victim in this country, then they will be treated the same way that I was.
And that was?
Without any compassion, empathy, dignity.
Like Catherine, Airdrie is reclaiming her dignity. While Korean police refused our request for an interview, today they've agreed to meet Airdrie and her mum Heather. It's a heated discussion that lasts 3 hours. And when they emerge, it's clear it didn't go well.
They just didn't get it, and they wouldn't take responsibility for anything.
You've had a pretty rough day today, haven't you?
Yes, it's been horrific, but it's something I felt I needed to do.
What were you hoping for today?
I guess naively, I was hoping for an apology, and they refused to give one whatsoever.
Airdrie has since learnt that her alleged attacker was not charged with rape, but sexual harassment, because she was unconscious at the time. Still, an arrest is something American Amanda Wilson is unlikely to ever see.
Some days it's just the worst thing. Because even though you get away, you have to live with it. You have to live with what had happened or what he did.
In the letter James Hillier wrote to Amanda, he offered her $50,000 to drop the case after she was found naked, impaled on his front fence. But the Korean prosecutor refused to take on Amanda's case, citing a lack of DNA evidence. And Hillier returned to his home in California, where we track him down.
Allison Langdon from 60 Minutes Australia. Did you rape Amanda Wilson?
No, ma'am, I did not.
Then why did she bite you on the face and run naked from your apartment?
I have no idea. I don't remember what happened tonight.
You don't remember what happened?
No, ma'am, I do not.
How can you be so sure if you don't remember the night?
I know me, ma'am. I know my character. I know who I am. There's just no way I could do something like that.
But if you didn't rape her, why did you offer her $50,000?
Shouldn't you guys have permission to be approaching me like this?
Well, I'm just asking you a few questions. Why did you offer her $50,000? Why did you write her this letter apologising for the pain and suffering?
I'm not going to answer any more questions unless I have a lawyer present or something. I've already been through all this.
She was left impaled on your fence screaming for help. Why didn't you call an ambulance?
Ma'am, I'm not answering any more questions. This is wrong what you guys are doing.
Well, hang on, this is the letter that you wrote to Amanda.
Ma'am, this has already been settled. in
It hasn't
Korea.
been settled.
Yes, it has
It
been.
hasn't been settled.
I'm sorry, you guys need to go away.
Hi. So nice to finally meet you.
Back in Seoul, 3 women who should never have met are brought together by a shared trauma.
You okay?
Determined to provoke change.
Finally, 3 of us are coming together, and I wish that I was the last victim on Earth, actually. And so it's really a sad moment for me to be meeting you both today. But we are stronger together, and I'm together with you in this fight.
For Airdrie Matner, giving up was never an option. While she won't rest until all 3 of her attackers are brought to justice, most of all, she hopes her story will save other women from suffering as she has.
Do you feel brave?
I don't. I don't really feel brave. I feel scared. I feel sick. I feel angry. But I guess I'm doing it anyway.
You just gave me the definition of brave.
Hello, I'm Allison Langdon. Thanks for watching. To keep up with the latest from 60 Minutes Australia, make sure you subscribe to our channel. You can also download the 9Now app for full episodes and other exclusive 60 Minutes content.